guys, what's up? It's Lando from the Snap Fantasy Football Podcast, and I'm here to talk some Week 3 DFS, some DraftKings lineup. I'm here to make my lineup with you. I'm going to talk through the slate. I'm going to go through my favorite plays, my matchups that I'm targeting, and how I'm going to go about starting this lineup. So right off the bat, I'm going to jump into the $20 Millionaire Maker lineup, and I'm going to get in here and I'm going to probably go through some of these guys. So right here at the top, we have Russell Wilson at $7,300. He's followed by Dak Prescott. Josh Allen's had a really great start to the season. Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, and that's kind of where I'm going to stop looking at the top. All those guys are great. All those guys have players that I would want to stack with, and the one that stands out to me is going to be Kyler Murray. He's got the rushing upside. I would potentially stack him with a DeAndre Hopkins as well. So he's going to be up there as well. But now I'm going down this list. The players that jump out to me are going to be Ryan Tannehill at Minnesota. That's going to be a great one as well. And then I'm going to go further down, and I'm going to go Daniel Jones at San Francisco. I think that's a really good lineup. I could very well potentially play Daniel Jones at my starting quarterback. So I'm going to look at that and put that in as a placeholder right now just to see how it looks. Obviously, San Francisco lost some defensive linemen, and I think this is a good opportunity for Daniel Jones to break out. We know he's got that big game in him. Jumping over to quarterback, obviously Christian McCaffrey is number one. He is out. He's not going to play. Zeke Elliott's a good play. Derrick Henry is one of my favorite plays, obviously, this week, coming back off a bad game. Dalvin Cook got some work late in garbage time, but really barely paid off his price tag. I'm not really looking at Josh Jacobs, but Jonathan Taylor at the New York Jets is a really good play as well. I'm going to just put him in as a placeholder and keep going from there. Another guy that I really like is going to be Austin Eckler versus Carolina. The Chargers play great, and we saw that Herbert targeted the running back a lot. But we're going to keep going down this list here. Miles Sanders is a good play against Cincinnati. Is a guy that I like. I'm not really looking at Kareem Hunt, even though he had a really good big 20-point game this past week. Joe Mixon is in play at $5,900 at Philadelphia. Philadelphia has a good defense against the run, but I still think Joe Mixon is in play. Todd Gurley, not really looking at him at all. Melvin Gordon is someone that I'm not really looking at either. Tampa Bay's defense is very good. Down this list, Joshua Kelly is someone I would consider. DeAndre Swift I would consider as well because it's a tournament play. But this week, I'm looking at paying up for running back. We will think about Devin Singletary, but right now, that's not really on my list. I think Antonio Gibson is also in play. But I'm going to go back up to my strategy this week is going to be pay up for running backs. So I'm going to go to Austin Eckler. I think he's got a really good matchup against Carolina. Daniel Jones, I like to stack my quarterback with at least one or two players. So I'm going to look at stacking him with Slayton. So here you can see I can search for my player. I'm going to stack him with Slayton. I'm not sure if I want to. I should look into how much Freeman. Devonta Freeman is not on this list. Interesting. I wonder if he will be on this list as we come forward. So, either way, I'm not too concerned. But stacking him with Devonta Freeman is also in play for me. Right now, it's going to be a single stack with Darius Slayton. We saw that Sterling Shepard had a turf toe injury, but he is. So that puts Slayton a little bit more in play. I would also consider Golden Tate. Evan Ingram has not showed out much this year, but it's potential that I'll play with him with Slayton or play Evan Ingram as well. Right now, I will go through wide receiver, but right now I'm going to go through DST to get that out of the way. This is kind of how I go about making my lineup. Right now, the Indianapolis Colts are definitely in play at $4,100. The Titans also against Minnesota at $3,900 is a pretty good deal. The Chargers at Carolina is also an interesting play. I don't mind that at all. Then if I'm going to go down this list, I'm looking at teams that are facing a good D line facing a bad O line. So what stands out to me is maybe the Chicago, going back up and looking at the Chicago defense at $2,900. I would also consider potentially the Bengals. The Bengals might be an interesting play at $2,600 if you want to be really down there. The Texans is someone at $2,100 I would consider as well. So this is tough at the defense spot. I know no one came to see what the defense is, but if you get a 15-point defensive score on your DraftKings lineups, you're making some money here. So I'm going to go cheap. I want to pay up at other positions. So I'm going to go cheap, and I might go with the Bengals at Philadelphia. Carson Wentz does not look great. He does not look like he's got it right now, and it seems like everyone's injured. So this might be an interesting play here at defense at $2,600, but I get to save some money. At tight end, I also want to save some money because I spent up at the running back position. Obviously, Kittle is questionable, but he would be a good play as well as my kind of one San Francisco run it back player. Right at this point, he's questionable, so I'm not looking to play him yet. But Higbee has been awesome. Waller has been awesome. Noah Fant is a really good play at $5,400. This Tampa Bay defense is excellent. Hawkinson, I also believe, is a great play at $5,300. And Jonnu Smith is next in play, especially if you decide to go with the Tennessee stack with Tannehill, possibly Tannehill, Derrick Henry, and Jonnu Smith is a really good try stack. Maybe bring it back with a Adam Thielen. I really like that play as well. Maybe I'll play another matchup and potentially do that. But I'm gonna go down this list some more, and I am going to play a guy I played last week. Where is he? I am going to play Logan Thomas at $3,700. Easy play against Cleveland, no question. Should be a solid matchup. And now I have $6,500 as you can see on the bottom to play with here at my wide receiver and flex position. Now I like to run it back with the San Francisco player, but unfortunately there's no one really that really jumps out to me as a must play. Maybe Jerick McKinnon. I could potentially play Jerick McKinnon. Let's see how much he is. Jerick McKinnon, $4,900. That's a pretty good deal. I think he gets most of that work against the Giants. The Giants' defense is terrible. So now I've got two Giants, one 49er, and now now I can pay up at wide receiver. I might as well go with the top end guy. DeAndre Hopkins at Detroit should be a great matchup. And then at $6,700, I can also pay up a few wide receivers I do like. I'll go through the list here. Obviously, Julio Jones is a good play because he's $200 more than Calvin Ridley and hasn't performed as well. I don't mind going to that matchup. Stephon Diggs, I'm going to stay away from a little bit, even though Josh Allen has shown out. Between Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, I'm going to go with Chris Godwin as the preferred play. He should be coming back. He's out of concussion protocol. It's a great option. Both of these Seattle wide receivers are excellent options as well. In a PPR format, I would lean with Tyler Lockett in this option for between these two. Even though DK Metcalf is great, he's more money. I would just go Tyler Lockett and go and save $100. I think they have very similar upside. And stacking them with Russell Wilson is a high price play, but I think it does pay off. Going with a Prescott Gallup stack, potentially with Zeke as well, is a stack that I like because people will not play Gallup people think Gallup is washed and isn't going to be relevant. I disagree. I think Gallup is going to be a guy, especially this week, that could show out and potentially going forward. So Kupp is a decent play. I'm not really loving that matchup. Kenny Golladay is an interesting one to play. He's only $6,200. But against Arizona, I think that's a really great matchup. DJ Moore showed out great, but the Chargers defense is excellent. Yeah, so I mean, there's some really good plays at wide receiver. I have a ton of money left, so I can pay up here. Terry McLaurin at Cleveland is a good option as well. Maybe stacking with Haskins. That's a tournament play if I've ever saw one. But it seems like the high-end quarterback, you really need to hit that 30-point mark if you're going to win some big money. And I don't see Haskins really doing that against Cleveland. So to finish my lineup here, guys, I'm going to go with Chris Godwin to finish up. I have $0 left. I really like my wide receiving core with Godwin, Hopkins, and Slayton. I've got a running back at the flex with McKinnon, and that's kind of playing into that San Francisco Giants game. I do think Daniel Jones has a chance to have a really, really big game. It's going to be tough against San Francisco, but I think it's very possible. We've seen him do it. Hopefully a couple of those go to Slayton. And here we go. I'm going to submit this lineup and get it going. Hopefully you like this video, guys, and we will see you next time. All right, don't forget to like this video, comment on what your favorite stacks of the week are, and we will see you next week. Thanks, guys.